go. Hello and welcome back to the 2021 Great Lakes Regional Championship in bracket play. This is part of the bracket to get a bid to U.S. Quidditch Cup in 2022 in Salt Lake City, Utah. On the left we have Penn State from Pennsylvania, and on the right we have Bowling Green. I'd like to introduce your commentators for today's game, Scott Rain of Chicago United and Matt Dwyer of Ohio Apollos. Good morning again.
Morning, Mary.
Morning, Mary. Thanks for having us. Looks like Jeanette High will return as head ref for this match, and they are accompanied by some familiar faces. Alec Powers of Chicago United, Tad Walters, head coach for Columbia Chicago Quidditch, and Mel Chaser for Columbia Quidditch roughing as well.
Penn State attacking left to right in the navy blues, Bowling Green right to left in the brown, black, and orange. Penn State has elected to begin with bludger control as brooms are up. Penn State the 9th seed coming into this, Bowling Green the 12th. Bowling Green will start it up coming near side with the quaffle. Slow, looking for their beaters to disrupt. And back to center. That's Freeman. And Freeman passing it over to O'Hearn. O'Hearn probing. He's got a beater in front. That's Mitchell. O'Hearn, all the space and all the time in the world. To Freeman. Back to center. Guarded with Mitchell as a beater to O'Hearn. And now Penn State, they're going to get aggressive in the defense. Freeman dodges a beat narrowly. He passes it way up to O'Hearn, who has to go up and get it. Beat immediately, and Penn State recovers. They're on a run. They're on a tear. It's going up the field. It's number 16. Breaks through the tackle. Beats. Held up by Freeman, and he's beat as he passes off to O'Hearn. That was Oppenheim who got beat there. And Bowling Green saves the fast break.
A disciplined start for Penn State's defense, especially their beater pair, keeping Bowling Green at bay, not giving them easy looks, and then failed opportunity on the fast break. Bowling Green will attempt to run their offense again.
Looks like they're coming up the far side now. Penn State still with bludger control, defending on the far side, and they managed to script the quaffle away, and it's recovered by the keeper. So that probe on that side. Pass was kind of poorly handled, so we will see what happens here. Now bringing it up center for Penn State, that is Nathan Quint. Quint driving into the right side, blocked at the hoops. That was a great block by Brittany Smith, although Quint gets his own rebound, and now he's probing the far side. He's going to drive in again. Beater's clearing it out, and this time he finds Purchase in the top hoop. That's our first score of the game, 10-0 Penn State.
Penn State is able to maintain bludger control. That was an interesting approach for Penn State's initial charge of the offense. Both their beaters ran up into the middle of the hoops to kind of clear the lane, and then their keeper ran in. It didn't work the first time, and sometimes that happens. Penn State was able to stay focused, recover the quaffle, and then try and drive again, and they were successful.
Pardon me, that was Orion on that block. Orion. So now O'Hearn has it on the side, pass to Freeman, back to O'Hearn, doing the tightrope walk on the boundary and pushed out of bounds. And that'll be a turnover. That was good defense by Oppenheim. And that'll be Penn State ball out of bounds. O'Hearn unable to walk that tightrope. So, little explanation on out-of-bounds rules here for Penn State. And now Penn State's going to inbound, and they are not recognizing that Bowling Green doesn't have bludgers. Now finally Oppenheim does, and he's got bludgers in front. He's going to drive in big and score.
Good direction from Penn State's beater. That is number 21, Joseph Imperial. Letting Oppenheim know, hey, we got to go, we got to move, we got an opportunity to score. Give Penn State the extended lead 20-0. Bowling Green's keeper, number 30, O'Haron, will bring up the quaffle. Hands it off to number 8, that is Riley Freeman. Back to O'Haron. Bludgers are on the ground. There's a beat by Joseph. Fast break opportunity again. Good beat by Joseph for Penn State.
Did Alex start wrapping up pitch 2 yet?
Penn State's keeper, Nathan Quint, has the quaffle. Driving on the right side and gets a score. Able to sneak it in just before Bowling Green's keeper is able to get there. It is now 30-0 in favor of Penn State, and we're going to get some beater subs for Penn State. Still maintaining bludger control. We also got some subs on the Bowling Green side. Subbing at Chasers, number 3, Jordan Julian. Number 3, Keepers, number 13, Dominique Torakowski. We also got number 12, Ray Barnes at beater for Bowling Green. Bowling Green somehow got bludger control, and they're going to definitely take advantage of it on defense. Penn State's keeper, number 35, Kenneth Peterson's got the quaffle, looking to drive. That's a timely beat by Penn State's beater, 71, Catherine Carlson.
Beautiful shot by Penn State's keeper to the tall hoops right there.
Yeah. Kenneth saw the lane, took that opportunity, took the shot. Score is 40-0. Penn State is up. Ray Barnes is joined by number 22, Robert Beaton. Interesting last name for a beater position in the Quidditch world. Missed opportunity by Bowling Green's offense. Still maintains bludger control. Ray Barnes applying a lot of pressure. Beats out Penn State's. Throws another bludger. Ray is relentless. What a catch by Ray Barnes! My goodness! What an animal!
Quaffle is now in the hands of Bowling Green, being brought up by their keeper.
Who needs chasers and keepers when you have Ray Barnes on defense? My goodness, what a display of skill, athleticism. Whew, that was fun. As someone that primarily plays quaffle, chaser, keeper positions, that was a lot of fun to watch. Ray is now just chilling back there without the bludger in hand and allowing their offense to just operate with one beater. We got a stoppage of play. Ray and Alec Powers are having a discussion about rules. During the stoppage of play, I'll talk a little bit about how yesterday went for both these teams. Penn State was able to get 2 wins on the day. 1 win against Dark Snare, the combo of RIT and Syracuse's program, and a win against Michigan State. Penn State lost to University of Michigan and to the Blue Jay programs. That is the Creighton University's program's B team. So they went 2-2 on the day, which granted them the 9th seed. Bowling Green, not as much success, but was able to steal a win against the Hawkeyes yesterday, 165-120. They lost their other games to the Illini Ridgebacks, Creighton's A team, and Ball State, which granted them the 12th seed. Play is resumed. Quaffle's in the hands of Penn State's keeper. That's a good beat by number 25, Ian Thornton. Kenneth's driving and scores. Bowling Green may have bludger control, but Penn State didn't need it to score, extending their lead. In the mix of that score attempt, they get bludger control out of it, and sometimes that happens. It's a good beat by Ray Barnes.
Good recovery by number 35, making sure that they're in their keeper zone to get the ball. Now it is Penn State's ball.
Ray Barnes applying a lot of pressure up front. Kenneth's going to take a sub for Penn State, and we're going to get a new keeper in to handle the quaffle. We also got number 13, Emily Lenhart, out there at Chaser. Penn State's beater is dismounted. That's Olivia Estrite. Ray Barnes is one-person wrecking crew at that beater position. There's a stoppage of play, and the refs are congregating on the Bowling Green side of the pitch. This is day 2 of the Great Lakes Regional Championships. A unique blend of Great Lakes teams, but also Midwest region and Northeast region and Mid-Atlantic teams have all come out here today to compete for 6 bids for college nationals that will take place in Salt Lake City, Utah next year. If these teams lose here today, that doesn't necessarily mean they are out completely. That just means their climb to a bid will be that much harder.
Yeah, so whoever wins this game will face Columbia College. Whoever loses H will drop to, I guess, what you could call the tertiary bracket. And then they will have to win a few more games in order to get one of the last bid slots.
Yellow card! Blue 44! That's for playing through a meet. One manufactured children's ball. That will be a fumble and a bludger.
Jeanette High giving the call. Jeanette is joined by Columbia's Quidditch ref crew, Mel and Nivash here by the camera. Love these guys. Columbia's great. I'm also biased to people from Chicago. Misbeat by Ray. A unique error for Ray. Penn State's able to capitalize and get a bludger out of the way. That is number 25, Ian Thornton, the lone beater out there for Penn State, as the other beater will serve time in the penalty box.
The 27 blocks the quaffle with their bludger twice, but then the quaffle goes out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to be a turnover to Bowling Green.
That's a heck of...
to Penn State, I mean. Nope. Yeah, to Penn State, excuse me.
That's a heck of an effort by Ian Thornton. However, anytime your back's turned or you're going to give up that bludger, you are susceptible to Bowling Green's bludgers coming right after that, and that's what happened. Bowling Green's able to recover 2 bludgers, Ian's out of play. Penn State's going to be in a bit of a pickle right now for this moment. However, they're not in a pickle in this game. Right now, they've had a pretty much commanding lead of this score right now. It's still 50-0. But as well as Bowling Green's Bears have been playing, we haven't been able to see much of an offense on their end. Still plenty of Quidditch to play. We've had a couple of plays near the boundaries. A couple things to know about the boundary rules. If the ball goes out of bounds, the refs will identify who was at fault and who's going to get the quaffle. And then that person has a couple of options with the quaffle. They can either walk it in themselves or pass it off to one of their teammates, and they usually have about 5 seconds to make that decision.
So keeper number 88 passes it off to Bynum, but is beat, unfortunately, and no one from Penn State is able to get it. So number 69 is making the drive. Penn State is ready to meet them, though. There's also a beater. Number 26 is part of that block, and it is back in the hands of number 88 on Penn State. Quick recovery from Penn State. Initially had no players available for that pressure from Bowling Green, but then they were able to quickly get everyone over there. So props to them for quickly pivoting on that play.
Katrina subs in at chaser for Penn State. A missed shot by number 22 Madison thrown.
Curtis, can you put that in Slack? I didn't hear it.
Missed beat by Ian Thorin. Is able to get Ray on that second attempt. Bowling Green's keeper's charging, just misses the shot attempt. That was number 13, Dominique Torakowski. Getting wrapped up by Penn State's keeper, number 88, Colton Giordano. We're going to remount shortly, and Bowling Green has a shot to get their first point on the board. And there it is. So in the mix of that contact, Penn State's keeper had to dismount to tag up to come back in. Play would resume with a pretty easy shot for Bowling Green's keeper, number 88, Colton Giordano. Bowling Green's on the board, 50-10. Got some new beaters subbing in for Penn State. Ray Barnes is still out there, and number 22, Robert Beaton, is still out there for Bowling Green's beaters. Missed shot. Good throwback by Joseph Imperial's back out there, beater, but it might be a little too late as number 13 is driving down the pitch.
It was not too late. Bynum dives on the ball. I'm not sure if I think the Bowling Green keeper was beat. Just waiting for some beaters, I think, to clean up this play, and then Penn State will have the ball.
That's a heck of an effort by number 21, Joseph Imperial, to get that bludger to hit the Bowling Green keeper just before the shot attempt. Katrina will walk the quaffle up for Penn State. In Katrina's spare time, she also head refs a lot of games. Heck of a job during that role as well. Got a keeper sub for Penn State. Nathan Quinn's back out there, number 8. Number 90's in at beater. That's Juliana Scalone, attempting to try and get one of the bludgers from Bowling Green.
But Barnes is not letting them have it.
Barnes is very aware that she is there. But they put Barnes in a bit of a pickle situation.
Good positioning by number 26 as he attempts to make the drive. Goes over. It is too high.
That spin was pretty cool, though. That was number 26, Graham Peace.
Refs are raising their hand, though, and there does appear to be a call on that play.
Not sure for the call or the stoppage of play. Joseph will be by themselves for a bit with the bludger for Penn State, as Juliana will have to go tag back up on the hoops. Penn State's going to be in more of a pickle than they just were. Joseph is out for the moment with a yellow card for a minute, and Juliana has to tag up. Penn State has no bludgers. Let's see if Bowling Green recognizes that opportunity, that they have no bludger support. Katrina gets tapped out, and it looks like they see this opportunity. They are rushing down this pitch. That is O'Haron, number 30, with the quaffle. Pass it off. Bobbled pass, recovered by Penn State's Chaser Madison, thrown. An opportunity let go by Bowling Green. Nathan Quint will walk the quaffle up for Penn State, and Nathan's going to do what I would do, take my sweet time getting to the midline, because I got one of my beaters in the penalty box. Definitely no rush to make a low probability attempt at scoring. Going to try and run out this penalty clock as much as possible without getting a delay call. And you got the warning there. Missed beat. There's a beat. Recovered by 77, Raymond Thompson. Raymond driving. Bowling Green is all over it.
I can't believe that didn't go.
Bowling Green's number 27, attempting to run down the pitch. Katrina slows him down. Nathan wraps him up.
Passes to
My goodness.
a great pass to the Penn State Chaser, who intercepts that from Blue Jay. Now their keeper is walking it up the field very slowly. I can't believe Penn State recovered that way.
I actually can believe it. Bowling Green just running and gunning with no sort of like plan in mind. We're just going to go hard, go fast, and hope for the best. And kind of wish they could slow down so I can keep up with everything that's happening. Nathan dishes it off to their chaser. Missed shots, just low. Joseph's back out there for Penn State and recovers bludger control. That pass from Nathan went to number 77, Raymond Thompson. We got another stoppage of play. I can hear Tad Walters, one of the refs out there, a little bit saying there was either a beat before, the goal was not good, something along those lines. At least from this angle, the goal didn't look good at all, so I don't know if the beat matters, but I'm not out there. I'm not the one that has the best look of the goal, so we're going to see what happens. Joseph obviously upset because they had a bludger and now they don't. And Bowling Green will have...
the worst.
It's not a good time. Penn State still has a bludger, though. Number 17, Lucy Jensen, has the bludger for Penn State. Bowling Green will have bludger control. Let's see how they use it. Number 22, Robert Beaton's still out there for Bowling Green. I lied, they're subbing out now. That's probably a good call. Both Robert and Ray had a lot of minutes for this Bowling Green's line. We got some new beaters out there, though. They got the qualifier, they got the bludgers. Let's see what happens. Looks like number 18 is going to play a little bit more conservatively. That's Rachel Krieger, number 18 for Bowling Green. Their other beater, number 55, Angela Mitchell, will play a little bit more on the offensive side. Kind of like their own version of what we would call the 1.5. Basically taking one bludger out of play, still having it, but just not using it for offense.
O'Reilly, Freeman tries to shoot. It is too low. It does not go in.
Sometimes teams will use that 1.5 strategy to force the other team's defense to be more aggressive with their bludgers, and it takes away the possibility of calling immunity. Sometimes teams have a little bit more physical style of play where they're confident they can take a bludger from the other team and leave a bludger on the far side of the pitch, which forces that team to then have to hustle over there to get the lone bludger. If done well, can be very effective. Unfortunately, Bowling Green was not able to get a score out of it, and Penn State will recover. That seems to be the narrative for Bowling Green today, unfortunately. A lot of physical play, a lot of fast breaks, just not a lot of high probability shots. Ooh, the goal was good. They are saying that Nathan was beat before, though. Heck of an attempt, though. The score remains 50-10. Penn State is up by 4 scores. And I don't have the time, but I'd imagine we're getting close to that 20-minute mark, and we'll talk about what that means a little bit later. Number 30 will walk up the quaffle for Bowling Green, Aiden O'Haron. Being patient, passes it to Riley Freeman. That's number 8. They are joined by number 7. Goes by Oren.
33 blue back to hoops, leading with the point of Delta. There you go. Beat 55.
Ooh, good beat by number 77.
Number 3 passes, attempts to score. It does not go in. It looks like it's going to be Penn State's quaffle. Recovered by number 26. Pass to number 8, their keeper.
That was number 17, not number 77.
Excuse me.
Lucy Jensen beating for Penn State. Good job getting bludger control for their team. They were also joined for a little bit by Giuseppe, but we got a sub from Giuseppe, and Ian Thornton's back out there for Penn State at beating. Penn State's got bludger control. Keeper's just casually walking up, getting a lot of... Okay. That was a very casual score. But, I mean, when you have bludger control, you kind of get to do that. Also, Bowling Green was kind of just letting them walk up. Easy score for Penn State's keeper. The score is now 60-10. It also helps to have some height to this game. Some of these hoops are a little bit taller for some folks. Given the right arm length and the right space of the hoop, you can pretty much throw it anywhere. Angles are very important to this game, both when you're playing marking defense, when you're taking shots on the hoops. As long as it gets through the hoop, that is a goal. Freeman will pass it off to O'Haron, gets wrapped up. It looks like Jeanette's saying a no call, but reminding number 16, Lucas of Penn State, don't hit anyone from the back. I think why Jeanette's not given the card is Lucas recognized that it was behind the back and immediately stopped.
No good, though, from Bowling Green, unfortunately. It is now Penn State's ball.
Penn State will walk up the quaffle, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to walk it up with our bludgers and probably rip a shot. Good job by Bowling Green's beater, number 18, to get in their face, make it a little bit different.
35 scores to the center hoop. But there might be a call, or it's intermission. No.
So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality works for Penn State.
Yeah. And so 70-10 with this game. Scott, I know I've asked you this question before, but it's an important one. There's still a chance for Bowling Green to come back. What would you do if you were in their shoes?
Bowling Green is just unfortunately not taking a lot of good looks. Earlier in the game, they had a lot of fast break opportunities, and they do, unfortunately, what I tend to do is I just run with no care in the world and take a shot. which is fun, but unfortunately it's not the highest probability look. What I would encourage Bowling Green to do is push the pace, definitely, especially when you have that opportunity when bludgers are on the ground, but get your other chasers, your other quaffle people out there in front of you to create passing options. Spread the ball around. It's a lot easier to score when you have more people than their defense. Get 2 or 3 of your chasers out there versus 2 or 3 of their defense. That's one thing I would do for Bowling Green, and they're doing a lot of kind of like one attempt sort of moves. They're kind of like just taking one shot here, one shot there, and there isn't an opportunity to get like a second look.
Yeah.
I know part of that is just not having that bludger control, and maybe this would be an opportunity to kind of ditch the 1.5 approach. Maybe finding a way to use their bludgers more effectively, as Penn State's been able to do. Penn State's last 2 scores are a testament to having bludger control. Their keeper was able to just walk up and rip it through hoops, and if you get close enough, why not?
Well, so a question for you. We talked in an earlier game about how sometimes you can use bludger control against a team and force them to make their defense accountable. Do you think with someone like Barnes on Penn State, or Barnes on Bowling Green being so aggressive, that's something that this team could possibly use to their advantage against Penn State, or do you think that it's too much of a matchup?
Put Barnes at chaser. That is my hot take for this game. With the way she throws, she could probably rip it from 10 yards and make it in a hoop.
Set score is 140, which means that the first team to 140 wins this game. Your snitch is Derek Parker. Curious to see what Penn State's strategy is going to be if you know they're going to concentrate everything on the snitch or not. Having not seen this team all weekend, I'm not sure what their pattern has been, but it's going to be super curious to see what their choice is.
A big hill to climb for Bowling Green, nonetheless. They're going to have to get 130 points somehow, but they have options.
Including right now, Freeman making a drive for it on the right side, goes around. I'm not sure why they went so wide, but now they're forced to slow down, unfortunately. Is there any other passing options? It looks like they might force a reset. They are not. Their keeper gets beat, passes are recovered by number 7, who is currently on the ground, but it is taken by number 26, who passes to Penn State, who is now in the center. Looks like Penn State is going after the snitch, hoping for those 35 points. Seeking is number 22 for Penn State.
So kind of what I just articulated.
Oh, but Penn State just scored, excuse me.
That is Penn State's number 26, Graham Peace. So the feedback I just gave about Bowling Green, they kind of just did the opposite. They're doing what I suggested not to do. They're just running into people without really care.
A little bit of a chaos at the hoops, but Penn State's now making a fast break for number 35. Goal is not good? Good? We're not sure. There is a call on the play. There's a call on something.
So I guess some critiques on my feedback for how the rest of this game can go. I am fine with teams pushing the pace. It's very clear that the beaters right now are focusing on snitch and seeker play. So that kind of makes it easier for that run and gun kind of style. However, it kind of needs to just be a little bit more organized. It can't be this hero ball style that we're seeing right now.
Well, we've said it before this weekend and at other regionals. One of the big takeaways I've seen is the teams that are effective at hero balling or fast breaks, they're not really hero balling. They have a partner, you know, or you send a beater with them to, you know, take out someone. But you need to have a pair on these fast drives. You need to have players sprinting along, ideally, with the point chaser. And if you don't have that, you're just kind of leaving them dangling.
It's almost like you need a team to play this sport, Mary.
You mean Quidditch is not an individual competition? I had no idea. I thought this was equestrian.
Question.
Can you imagine Quidditch on horses? That is a goal by Penn State. Good goal, I believe, by number 35 on their fast break.
There are opportunities where fast breaks can work out. Mary, you had highlighted where those fast breaks can work. On the rare occasion, if you're running down there and you catch a defense sleeping, great, take it. Those opportunities are going to be rare. Right now, Penn State's not sleeping. All 4 of their quaffle people are down there. So...
Yeah. Some interesting beater play over here. Barnes trying to capture the quaffle, or bludger. Looks like they do. That is fantastic. Just sort of took it out of their hand, but number 71 is not having it. We'll see if it stays. Barnes goes off broom and loses the bludger they tried so hard to protect. Near catch by number 69 on Bowling Green. Wow, nearly swooped in and got it. It's so hard when you have 2 seekers going after it.
That is Tate Graham for Bowling Green.
Number 26 had the quaffle for Penn State, passes it off to the side to another Penn State player who has it. 26 now has it in the center, taking their time, going up on the right side, going around. Looks like it fake outs number 35, goes around, tries to make a score. It is good. That is another goal for Penn State.
Good job by Ray Barnes catching a bludger from Joseph Imperial. Bowling Green's.
Derek Parker, the seeker for Bowling Green, off broom sent back to hoops. Number 22 for Penn State is back in.
Good job by Joseph to get the Bowling Green Beaters off their seekers back for a minute. Now he's going to go attempt to help the quaffle play. .44 for Penn State. Olivia Estri will protect their seeker, number 22, Madison Throne.
Number 35 bringing up the quaffle again. Is that
Good,
35?
Good screen by
Yes.
Katrina
Nice.
for their keeper, number 35. Misbeat by Robert.
Another goal, I believe, for Penn State.
Joseph recovering the loose bludger. Gonna go. We got a stoppage of play. Score is currently 110-10. And Mary, if I'm not mistaken, set score is 140?
140, yeah. So Penn State is either 3 goals or 1 snitch catch away from clinching this game.
We got a nice friendly wave from Penn State's number 21, Joseph Imperial. Probably feeling pretty good about how this game's going. They have bludger control. They got the lead. Good beat by Joseph.
Oh, unfortunately, Bowling Green off to the side forces a bludger turnover. Penn State has it. They're making a fast break, but getting some pressure from number 22, who passes it to 35, who is available, who dunks it into the small hoop. But it might have been beat before the goal wasn't called.
However, Mary, that is one of the looks that you were articulating earlier, is how you can run this fast break or push this pace. Well, one of Penn State's chasers running on the far left side, stopped, looked, see how the play was developing. Look, your keeper's in the middle of the hoop with a high probability shot. We just got to make it. I'm not too worried about Penn State missing that, though. We got a stoppage of... No stoppage of play. Number 4 beater gets a clear call.
That is a goal for Bowling Green. I missed who made it, but good job on them on capitalizing on maybe some of the chaos that's happening right now. But there's a fast break by number 35 running up. Number 12 is in position. Is he going to score? Is he going to dunk on his own? Number 35 gets it in.
So Penn State answers right back. They are 2 scores away from winning this game.
2 scores or 1 snitch catch. Although Parker is not giving up. Parker's a very physical, wrestling style snitch, doing some interesting moves, using the seeker's body and broom against them. Remember, seekers have a lot of flexibility with the amount of contact, or snitches have flexibility with the amount of contact they can apply to the seeker. And you are definitely seeing that creativity with Parker here.
Got a new seeker out there for Penn State.
Oh,
Parker ain't having any of it. That's Lucas for Penn State.
Meanwhile, Bowling Green has the quaffle on the other side. Number 11 getting some pressure. Their beaters, though, don't seem to... Not sure why their beaters not doing much to help them, but we'll see what happens. Passes to number 8.
That was number 3, Jordan Julian passing the quaffle off to Freeman.
Their keeper was in position for something, but Bynum is trying to bring him down. Another
Good
player
wrap
is
up
in
by
position,
Katrina.
but also getting wrapped by number 35, brings him down. But now the ball, I believe, is in the keeper zone, but there might be a call on that play. Wow, this game has really picked up, folks, if you haven't noticed, just trying to keep pace with everything that is happening with Quaffle and the Snitch game. There's a lot going on. Even though Bowling Green is down 100, they are absolutely not giving up. And that is the kind of determination that we have seen this entire weekend. And one of the benefits, I think, of this new set score model is that, Bowling Green, if they catch the Snitch, that's an extra 35 points. It doesn't end the game. First team to set score wins. So Bowling Green, they could pull around if they make the right moves, they have the right energy, But Penn State obviously has a significant advantage right now with points.
New seeker for Bowling Green is Tate Graham, number 69.
Meanwhile, number 23 passes the Quaffle up the midfield line, brings it to their keeper. This might be a keeper sub, I'm not sure. Bynum now has the ball. Number 15 passes it to behind the hoops. It looked like it was a little bit high, but that was perfect to get it in, and the goal is good.
That is Erica Lenhart, number 12 for Penn State.
Next goal or snitch catch wins the game for Penn State.
That was great ball movement all around by the Quaffle team of Penn State. Subbing in
Look at that seeker from Penn State getting low, trying to maybe leap around, leap up and over Parker. Maybe you can't leap up and over anymore. Bowling Green going around the back of the hoops, getting some pressure.
What a shot! The assist goes to number 30, Aiden O'Haron, and the goal goes to.
And that was wow. We were so busy covering the previous play that we might have missed the game-winning goal. We caught it on the stream. Goal is good, though, I think. Yeah. Goal is good for Penn State. Wow, that was so fast. What we saw a few times from this game, Bowling Green would score and Penn State would turn it around super quickly and just be ready for that. I believe that could have been number 88 with the game-winning goal. Either way, great game for both teams. So what happens in the bracket next? Let me pull that up for y'all folks. So Penn State wins this game. They are going to face Columbia College in the next game. Bowling Green drops to the tertiary bracket. We don't know yet who they play, as it is based on another game. So stay tuned, folks. The next game up on the stream is going to be Blue Jay versus, let me go up in the bracket, Ball State versus Blue Jay Quidditch. Ball State is the JV team for the Creighton University program. Ball State, a veteran team here in the Great Lakes region from Indiana, if I recall correctly. But we will be back, folks. Thank you so much, Scott, for joining us, and come back soon for more fun Quidditch.
Thanks, Mary.